Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah's Vegan Kitchen. Today I'm going to be sharing my comprehensive list of favorite vegan things of 2017. So everything from products to recipes to YouTubers, cookbooks, blogs, all that good stuff. I'm going to be sharing it today, and it's probably going to be a little bit on the longer side, so maybe grab a snack or a beverage, and I'm just going to dive right in. Let's talk about my favorite faux meat product of the year. For me, hands down, the Beyond Beef burger. I am not one of those vegans who used to think that meat was gross. I used to love it, especially ground beef. Hamburgers, cheeseburgers actually, were one of my favorite foods. This is very, very similar to the real thing. It has like a little bit of a textural difference, but with all your condiments and your lettuce and your tomato, you really can't tell the difference. I have purchased it for my sister on several occasions. My mom has tried it. Both of them are non-vegan and they really like it. You can use it in any recipe that used to call for ground beef. So shepherd's pie, meatballs, meatloaf, just the opportunities are endless. I will say it's not like the healthiest option, pretty high in fat. I don't always feel great after I eat a Beyond Burger, and that's why I only buy it on special occasions or if I'm really trying to impress an omnivore, but I think it's worth it on occasion. And then a second fake meat product I want to talk about, also by the Beyond Meat Company, they're just killing it in my opinion, are their grilled chicken strips. You can get them in the frozen section at actually most supermarkets that I've been to now carry them. They're oftentimes on sale. They're really high in protein, low in fat. And I've made chicken salad with it. I've just like heated it up and put it on salads. Gardein also offers frozen chicken style strips, but I think that the Beyond Meat, the texture of those is a little bit better. So now let's dive into the realm of vegan dairy alternatives, because I know dairy is where a lot of people get hung up when they're trying to transition from a standard American diet or even from a vegetarian diet to a vegan lifestyle. So let's talk about cheese. I'm all about the chow slices by Field Roast. I can find them just at my regular Safeway store now. My favorite flavor is the creamy original, but all the flavors are good. And it's one of the only vegan cheeses that I can actually have without melting it first. It tastes that good. The texture's nice. Primarily, I think coconut based, but I would totally feel comfortable serving slices of that cheese on like a cheese and cracker board at a party with non-vegans. And I also really enjoy the Follow Your Heart American style slices. I tasted those on camera in a taste test. I'll link it down below if you want to check it out. But if you're someone who has like fond memories of Kraft singles from when you were a kid, these taste exactly like that, but I actually prefer the texture of these better. It's a little bit firmer. It does melt beautifully if you want to make a grilled cheese, and I can also see just putting it in a cold sandwich or eating it with crackers, not melted. As far as shredded cheeses go, I just recently tried the So Delicious mozzarella and their cheddar style shreds. They also, I think, have a pepper jack kind that I can't find, but they're really good. I like them. I prefer them a little bit to the Daiya shreds that I was buying previously. They have less of like that characteristic Daiya artificial flavor. They melt beautifully, like on pizzas or on mac and cheese. So I highly recommend those. I found mine at Sprouts. Okay, let's talk about ice cream. There's so many great options out there now that it's like almost hard to decide, but I feel like I just have to give credit to Ben & Jerry's for really like pioneering the way. I feel like before Ben & Jerry's came out with their first generation of non-dairy flavors, it was like really hit or miss when it came to non-dairy ice cream, but afterwards, like everyone had to step up their game, and now there's so many great options. I love Coconut Bliss, So Delicious, Nadamu, and I really like pretty much all of the non-dairy flavors by Ben & Jerry's, except I'd probably pass on the Cherry Garcia just personally. But if I had to pick my #1 favorite, it would probably be the Coconut 7-layer bar. I'm such a coconut girl, and it has all my favorite things in it. As far as just plant milks go, I'm not going to talk too much on this because there's so many options out there, and I try a new thing every time, but I almost always have a carton of the Silk brand unsweetened original plain soy milk. It's on sale all the time, and I like baking with it. It has a nice neutral flavor. It doesn't separate when you pour it into a hot drink, because I have a lot of soy milk in my like coffee and tea in the morning. As far as like coffee creamers go, so many brands are offering them now, but my go-to is the Soy Creamer by Trader Joe's. It's very lightly sweetened. It has a really nice rich texture. Because it doesn't have any added flavor and because there's not too much sugar in it, you can actually use it in savory dishes. Like if you want to make your pasta sauce or your curry a little bit creamy, you can add a little splash of that in there. Moving on to condiments, okay? You guys know by now I am obsessed with Miyoko's cultured vegan butter. If you bake with it or you spread it on your toast, it tastes like real butter. And it has that like tartness to it because it's actually cultured. So I used to use Earth Balance. And Earth Balance definitely has like that sort of canola oil-y artificial flavor that you can pick up, especially if you use like a large amount of it in a recipe. And you're not going to get that at all with the Miyoko's butter. It is also palm oil free, which is a nice plus. The only downsides are that it is a little bit harder to find than Earth Balance. You can get that pretty much anywhere. I get it at either Trader Joe's or Whole Foods, and it's also a little bit more pricey, but I think it's worth it. My favorite snack of the year 2017 is the Skinny Pop white cheddar popcorn. The first time I found out that their white cheddar is vegan friendly, I flipped out because I used to just love white cheddar anything. It tastes exactly like the real thing. There's not much to say. I get it at Target usually, but it's available like pretty much anywhere. It's pretty inexpensive, and because it's Skinny Pop, it's a little bit lower in fat, so you can eat more of it, which is great. My most eaten meal of the year 2017 has been teriyaki tofu. Like, I don't know, this year has just been the year of always having a package of tofu in my fridge and always having a bottle of either Trader Joe's soyaki or Island soyaki in my fridge, just always. And anytime I haven't like planned out what I'm gonna have for dinner and I'm too lazy to go to the store, I can always just fall back on that. If I want to meal prep, I'll just make 2 blocks of teriyaki tofu in one go, and then I'll have enough for several days. And then I'll usually have that with a side of rice and broccoli. Let's move on to like my favorite recipes from other people from this year. Okay, number 1, it's gotta be the smoked carrot lox from the Olives for Dinner blog. I'll link it down below, not only because the recipe is amazing, I used to love smoked salmon and bagels, but also because my recipe test video for this recipe is the one that went like somewhat viral and really helped me gain a lot of momentum on my YouTube channel, and now this is what I do for a living, which is cool, and I'm really grateful for it. So I will always have fond memories when it comes to that recipe. Next recipe that I tried this year and loved is the vegan carbonara from the Serious Eats blog. Link that down below as well. It's made of like silken tofu, sauerkraut juice, white miso, just all of these like strange ingredients that I never would have thought to put together, but it made the most amazing creamy sauce, and it had some like sauteed mushrooms in there. It's a recipe that I would totally feed someone who's not vegan because it's that good. I want to talk about some drinks now because my world is ruled by beverages. I'm not someone who's ever been able to get excited about just water. I'm always drinking like herbal tea or lemon water. My favorite beverage has got to be kombucha, specifically by GT's. I don't know why. I'm just really a sucker for packaging, and I have a fierce brand loyalty to GT's. Probably my favorite flavor is the guava goddess. It's so good. I absolutely need to figure out how to brew my own kombucha in 2018, so I will be doing that, probably documenting it on camera. Another beverage I want to talk about, I taste tested this with Eric and Nicole from More Salt Please. I'll link that taste test video down below as well if you'd like to see it. The brand Rebel makes the most amazing Maca Mocha. It's like coconut milk based. It's so creamy. It has like really deep chocolatey flavor. All the ingredients are really good. They have like fancy herbs. I don't know, man. I'm not into like superfoods really, but all I know is this tastes so good. I had my sister try it and she said that it tasted like melted ice cream, and it's exactly spot on. They have lots of other options as well. They have like a turmeric latte, a matcha latte. They have a couple different types of cold brew with coconut milk. They have a chai, and everything I've tried from them so far has been so good. I want to talk about some vegan protein powders because even though right now I'm not being super into fitness, although I have started working out a couple times a week again. I'm very happy and proud of myself for that. But like earlier this year, fitness was such a huge important part of my life. And so I tried quite a few different protein brands. So I settled on 2 favorites, the first one being the Garden of Life protein. I usually go for the chocolate. The vanilla is also good. I don't really care so much for their chai flavor, but it's okay. What I love about this is that because it's raw, I think, it just digests super well for me. It doesn't bloat me at all. It's not chalky. I tried a couple of proteins that like the texture was so gritty that I could really only have it in like thicker smoothies with like frozen bananas in it. But with the Garden of Life, I can actually just mix it up with water or soy milk and drink it like that, and it tastes fine. It contains BCAAs as well. And then the second protein powder I've really been enjoying more recently has been the Vivo Life salted maca caramel Oh my god, I mentioned this I think in a pretty recent video, but it's also raw, also contains BCAAs and some digestive enzymes, so it digests really nicely for me. And the proteins are also like slightly fermented from what I understand, so they just are easier on your gut. And then like the Garden of Life protein, it's also, the texture is good enough that I can just drink it with water or soy milk and not have to make like a big fancy smoothie with a bunch of ice just to make it like palatable. I've also mixed it into my oatmeal a couple of times and it's good like that too. I'm losing my voice a little from talking so much. I need a sippy sip. This is the like mushroom coffee by Four Sigmatic. This is my first time trying it, but I had seen Jasmine from Sweet Simple Vegan talk about Four Sigmatic products. This is really good. I just have a couple more things left, but I want to talk about my favorite cookbook of the year, Homemade Vegan Pantry by Miyoko Skinner? I have not had an opportunity yet to try out many of her recipes. I've tried like 3 or 4. I did the other day just make a homemade soy milk. I had no clue there would be that much of a difference between homemade and store-bought soy milk, but this is like next level good stuff, and I can just tell I'm gonna get so much use out of this. I'm already just so inspired just by looking through it and bookmarking recipes to try out. So if you have a loved one who's interested in going vegan or eating more plant-based, I think this would be an amazing gift for them. As far as blogs go, Minimalist Baker. I just think her blog is such a good resource for anyone who wants to eat a little bit healthier and likes cooking but doesn't necessarily want to be using a bunch of crazy ingredients. Also, her photography is on fleek. Vegan YouTubers. I don't actually watch that much vegan YouTube. I mean, there are a couple people who I like am friends with online and I'll make sure to keep up with their content, but it's just not what like is most interesting to me anymore. But I will say that I discovered Avant-Garde Vegan's channel a couple months ago and I'm kind of obsessed with him. Everything about his show is magical. I mean, for one, it's an actual show. Like, it's something you could actually imagine seeing on television. It has a professional crew. Everything is so beautiful. His recipes are so like gourmet. That's the kind of content that I see and then I'm inspired to take risks in my own cooking, which is like my favorite thing. He just has this very like gentle, pleasant energy that I really like. Last thing I want to talk about, I've actually tried like quite a few different vegan restaurants and I was like really racking my brain trying to decide what my favorite experience was. I had this amazing tofu Benedict at Kindred in San Diego, and then I also went to Cafe Gratitude there. They had a tempeh Caesar wrap that was just absurdly good. I really thought about it and I think that my favorite restaurant has got to be plant-powered fast food in San Diego. Exactly what it sounds like. They have this really extensive burger menu. They've got hot dogs, corn dog bites, buffalo wings. They have a breakfast menu with like a breakfast and sausage sandwich, chicken waffle sandwich, just everything that your little tiny Sarah trashy tastes heart could desire. Favorite thing there is the Big Zac. It's just a plant-based version of the Big Mac, but it's better. I used to love Big Macs growing up. I have many happy memories of my mom taking me to McDonald's because that was like a treat for us, right? We did not eat out a lot growing up. I was very happy eating my Big Zac. Their cheesecake was amazing. I had a root beer float there. I had a milkshake there. I just had everything and it was all good. So those are all my favorite vegan things of 2017. Leave a comment down below. I know everyone has strong opinions. Let me know if you flat out disagree with any of my picks, if you think I overlooked any products that were like really stars in your mind. I also have a written out blog post with all of these things listed in a lot more detail and pictures. If you want to see that, I'll link it down below. Thanks for watching. My voice is completely shot. I don't know if you can hear that. But I'll see you soon. Bye. Well, I guess it's all a game now. Oh, I just gotta get up and learn to play. Life will never be the same now. No, 'cause I give her all my time and honestly, I don't mind.